My family has money and they can support me, but I model because I love to model, and it's something that I enjoy doing. So I don't think it's fair that they made me sound greedy about it and all, because I model because I love to model, and that's really all there is to it.
This was my bed. It's a little small for me now. Probably why I don't stay in here anymore, but yeah.
And what floor are we on?
We are on the 68th floor. Not a bad view to wake up to.
Ivanka is quickly becoming a star in her own right. Along with her editorial work, she is the new face of both the Mugler trademark and Sasson ad campaigns.
People are always going to speculate, and people are always going to wonder, could she have done it without her parents being who they are? And I've always thought, in this industry, your parents can't really get you that far. It's more about the public opinion. And if the public doesn't like you, then you're never going to succeed.
She has to go through letting stage. She's really there, just starting. She has a lot of confidence, a lot of voice, and a lot of personality, and she's a hard worker. And if you start with those qualities, you really can go places.
Yeah, that's sweet. You got beautiful teeth. Keep it happening.
Well, the beauty of Ivanka is that she's really had very little rejection. Now, that's both good and bad, because at a certain point, perhaps she does have rejection and she won't know how to take it. But I think she's very focused, and I think she also really understands how life works.
The eyes.
Donald Trump is panicking. It's not just his dark past that is surfacing. It's also the dark past of Ivanka that is surfacing. As you may know, Donald Trump had brought Ivanka around Jeffrey Epstein on at least one occasion. Also, Ivanka was modeling for something called Elite Model Agency when it was run by a very bad person named John Casablancas. I want to share with you, though, this is on Donald Trump's mind because during a White House Christmas party on Sunday, he brought up Ivanka. He saw someone who was right across from him at this Christmas party, and he stopped his speech like he saw a ghost, or he saw Ivanka, and he was like, "You look just like Ivanka. I thought you were Ivanka." Ivanka is clearly on his mind, as Donald Trump is also worried about his dark past surfacing. By the way, I am trying to do my best to gather all the information I can for you and share it with you. Please leave your likes and comments, and I would be grateful if you subscribed. Let's continue. Let me show you what went down at the White House this past Sunday. Watch this moment. Trump is giving a speech at a Christmas party when he suddenly stops mid-sentence. He's seen someone who looks like Ivanka, and he can't help himself. He says, "Boy, do you look like Ivanka? Has anyone ever told you that? I'm saying, could you just turn around for the camera? Does she look like Ivanka?" It's the most unbelievable thing. He's so fixated on this woman who resembles his daughter that he makes her turn around for the cameras. He says he didn't want to take a chance asking, "Is that Ivanka?" Then tells this stranger, "You look just like Ivanka," which is a great compliment, actually. This is deeply disturbing behavior. At a White House Christmas party, the president stops his speech to point out a woman who looks like his daughter and makes her perform for the cameras while he comments on her resemblance to Ivanka. This is not normal. This is creepy. And it reveals what's on Trump's mind right now as more Epstein photos surface. And I'd like to just share with you right now some of these photos regarding Ivanka. There's a photo of Donald Trump, Ivanka, and Epstein together, just the way Donald Trump would touch and hold Ivanka in these photos that I'm showing you, sitting on the lap. There's another photo of them on like a bed together with her kissing his cheek. These are not normal, at least in my opinion. You could tell me if your opinion is different. These are not normal father-daughter photos at all. Really disturbing stuff right there. And then we have these videos of Ivanka that have surfaced. Here she is talking about being a model at Elite Model Agency. Listen to what she says in this clip from when she was a teenager. "My family has money and they can support me, but I model because I love to model, and it's something that I enjoy doing. So I don't think they made me sound greedy about it and all because I model because I love to model, and that's really all there is to it." She's a teenage girl defending why she models, explaining it's not about money from her family, but about her passion. But the context around this is deeply troubling. Here's how the New York Times in 1997 described her when she was probably 15 or 16 years old. They described her as wearing see-through white dresses that would turn heads. See-through white dresses. Come on. She's an underage girl at this time. I want you to watch here as Ivanka looks at her childhood bed. This is from several years back. Watch what happens as she's giving this interview and she takes a look at her bed. She says, "This was my bed. It's a little small for me now. Probably why I don't stay in here anymore." When asked what floor they're on, she responds, "We are on the 68th floor. Not a bad view to wake up to." There's something haunting about this clip, the way she talks about her childhood bedroom in Trump Tower, the wistfulness mixed with distance. And here's another video of her involved in modeling. Listen to this. Ivanka is quickly becoming a star in her own right. Along with her editorial work, she is the new face of both the Mugler trademark and Sasson ad campaigns. Ivanka says in the clip, people are always going to speculate and people are always going to wonder, could she have done it without her parents being who they are? And I've always thought in this industry, your parents can't really get you that far. It's more about the public opinion. And if the public doesn't like you, then you're never going to succeed. Then someone commenting on her modeling says, she has to go through letting stage. You know, she's really just starting. She has a lot of confidence, a lot of poise, and a lot of personality, and she's hard worker. And if you start with those qualities, you really can go places. But then comes this absolutely chilling comment. Yeah, that's sweet. You got beautiful teeth. Well, you know, the beauty of Ivanka is that she's really had very little rejection. Now that's both good and bad because at a certain point, perhaps she does have rejection and she won't know how to take it. But I think she's very focused. And I think she also understands how she really understands how life works. Think about what's being said there. A teenage girl in the modeling industry has had very little rejection. Why? What does that mean? Who was protecting her from rejection? Who was ensuring she succeeded and at what cost? Here she is getting makeup for a modeling shoot. The video shows her getting ready backstage. Her hairstylist makes a disturbing joke asking, "Can you ask your dad if he's got $500,000 for me?" Even the people working with teenage Ivanka are making jokes about her father's money and treating her as a conduit to his wealth. And then we have Donald Trump speaking about Ivanka on Howard Stern and talking about her on The View. On Howard Stern, someone says about Ivanka, "She's beautiful." And Trump responds, "Can I say this? A piece of ass." Howard says, "She looks more voluptuous than ever." And Trump agrees, "She's actually always been very voluptuous." There's footage of Trump watching a young Ivanka going up an escalator saying, "I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. She's a child in that clip, and he's already talking about dating her when she's older. This is her father saying this. Here's the longer clip from The View so you can see it for yourself. Trump says directly, "If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her." The hosts react with disgust. One says, "Oh, it's so weird, stop." Another says, "You are terrible." And Trump responds, "Who are you? Woody Allen?" The Woody Allen reference is particularly disturbing given that Woody Allen famously started a relationship with his partner's adopted daughter, Soon Yi, when she was barely legal, eventually marrying her. And now we have photos of Woody Allen with Jeffrey Epstein as well, showing he was part of that circle. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Ivanka's mom, Ivana, when she died a few years back under fairly mysterious circumstances, was buried in the back lot of Bedminster. And this is what her grave looked like. You see all the grass that has grown over the grave, at least when the Daily Mail got this scoop and this exclusive. Real horrible stuff right there. I'm also reminded of this letter that was written by Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein. It reads, "There must be more to life than having everything. Yes, there is. But I won't tell you what it is, nor will I, since I also know what it is. We have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Yes, we do. Come to think about it, enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? As a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be a wonderful secret." Read that again. We have certain things in common, Jeffrey. May every day be a wonderful secret. What secrets were Trump and Epstein keeping? What did they have in common? Why is Trump writing about their shared knowledge and their wonderful secrets? And I just think about, while this was all taking place, Donald Trump's background of who he was hanging out with and what he was doing around this time. Here's a video compilation of Trump's Epstein connections and his comments about young women and girls. The narrator explains, charges that Jeffrey Epstein was running a trafficking ring in the early 2000s that included underage girls as young as 14 years old. Donald Trump in 2002 said of Epstein, "He's a lot of fun to be with." It's even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. Trump routinely spoke fawningly of Jeffrey. He admired Epstein's lifestyle. There's the clip again of Trump calling Ivanka voluptuous and a piece of ass. Then we hear about Trump commenting on Tiffany as a baby. "She's got Marla's legs. We don't know whether or not she's got this part yet," while gesturing to his chest. Michael Cohen has recounted how Trump, coming off a tennis court, saw Cohen's then 15-year-old daughter and said, "Look at that piece of ass, I would love some of that." Cohen's daughter, 15 years old, and Trump is commenting on her body. The video continues. "I had the impression that he was interested in younger women and that women would age out for him." Then there's the infamous comment about Miss Teen Universe, with someone joking, "That's like giving Jeffrey Dahmer a cooking show." Trump himself bragged, "I'll go backstage before a show, and everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else, and I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I stand there with no clothes." He's talking about walking in on teenage girls changing at beauty pageants. There's the escalator clip again. "She's going up the escalator. I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. A lawsuit against Trump alleges he raped a girl when she was 13 years old at one of Epstein's properties. The video covers Prince Andrew, noting Trump has been photographed with him as far back as 2000. And there's Trump's comment about Ghislaine Maxwell. "I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach, but I wish her well." What was happening privately? What did Ivanka witness at Epstein's properties? What did she experience in the modeling industry that Trump pushed her into, an industry we now know was deeply connected to Epstein's trafficking network? The elite model agency that Ivanka worked for was run by John Casablancas, who had his own history of predatory behavior with young models. The entire ecosystem of modeling agencies, beauty pageants, and wealthy men like Trump and Epstein in the early 2000s is now being revealed as interconnected in deeply disturbing ways. And Ivanka was right in the middle of it. But now as an adult, Ivanka has remained silent about all of this. She's never spoken publicly about what she witnessed at Epstein's properties, what she experienced in the modeling industry, what it was like having a father who made those comments about her body and talked about dating her. Her silence protects her father. And as the Epstein files continue to be released, as more photos surface showing Trump's extensive connections to Epstein, that silence becomes more conspicuous and more troubling. Trump at that Christmas party, fixating on a woman who looks like Ivanka, that reveals what's on his mind. He's worried about what might come out. He's worried about the photos that might show Ivanka at Epstein's properties. He's worried about what victims might say about what they witnessed regarding his relationship with his daughter. All of the public comments, all of the photos, all of the documented evidence of how Trump viewed and treated Ivanka, it's all resurfacing now in the context of the Epstein revelations. And it's painting a picture that's even more disturbing than we realized. Ivana Trump's mysterious death and burial in the back lot of Bedminster, a golf course with grass growing over her grave in neglect. Ivanka's silence about her experiences. Donald Trump's panic as files are released. The Christmas party moment revealing what's consuming his thoughts. It's all connected. The dark past is surfacing, and Trump knows it. That's why he can't stop thinking about Ivanka. That's why he sees her in strangers at parties. That's why he's desperate to suppress and distract from these revelations. But it's not working. The photos keep coming. The evidence keeps mounting. The connections keep being documented. And the American people are finally seeing the truth about who Donald Trump really is and what he was involved in through his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein.